What's up, Corona Youth? My name is Andy Palomars. I'm the youth director over at Crosswalk, and I'm so grateful for the invitation from Pastor Moses to share a little bit about Jesus with you guys today. So I understand you guys are in a series called Essentials, talking about the things that are essential to the soul, the things that we need as human beings. And today I want to share a little bit about what I believe to be essential to the soul. And what I believe to be essential to the soul is light. Throughout Scripture, we see the presence of light. I mean, one of the first things that God creates is light. The first words out of God's mouth in the Old Testament is, "Let there be light." In the New Testament, in the Gospel of John, John calls Jesus the life light. And he says that the life light blazes brightly. In 1 John, we're told that we are to walk in the light as Jesus is in the light. You see, light is something that our souls crave. We crave light. Now, we're in an interesting season right now. We're having to figure out how to do life apart from each other, how to do life remotely. And if we're being honest, many times we could feel as though we are in the darkness. And that's poetic language, I understand, but what that darkness ends up looking like and feeling like is loneliness, anxiety, depression, feeling like things will never be okay again, hopelessness. I think all of us at some point in this season, maybe right now, have encountered darkness, and we feel that our souls crave light. It's essential. Our souls crave hope. And in this season, we feel as though those lights have gone out. Well, today I want to talk about how we can find light, the essential light that our souls need. And to do that, I want to tell a little story. So a couple weeks ago, me and my family broke the rules. We drove out to Newport Beach because we wanted to see the bioluminescence. We wanted to see the glowing blue water. Now, I had heard about this glowing blue water. I had heard that it was amazing. I'd seen videos of it. It was neon blue. But honestly, I didn't think it would be fantastic. I thought that we're going to show up and it was going to be cool. It was going to glow a little bit, but it wasn't going to be exactly what everybody said it was going to be. So we show up to Newport Beach around 8 p.m., an hour after sunset. They said that's the best time to go and check it out. And we walk out to the beach, and in front of me is just this sea of darkness, absolute darkness. Could not see anything. I knew the ocean was there, but it was just this abyss of darkness. And we walk out to the shore and we sit down on the sand, and we're looking and waiting to see the light show up. And as we're sitting there waiting, I begin thinking, maybe this light isn't as great as people are saying it is. Maybe this light isn't as bright as everybody has made it out to be. In fact, what if this light actually doesn't show up? And as I'm sitting there having these thoughts, staring into the darkness, I see a wave begin to form. And as the wave picks up, I recognize that this wave is bigger than all the other waves. And as it gets bigger, it begins to crash. And as it crashes, it turns into this neon blue water. Now, it was fantastic. It was neon blue, like an alien blue, something you would see out of the movie Avatar. It was fantastic. And I sat there in awe because all of my doubts, all of my fears that this would not live up to the hype were silenced because I saw the light. You see, I think sometimes our souls will begin to think, maybe the light of Jesus will not return. Maybe the light of Jesus, although once present, has gone out and no longer has a place in our lives today. I think we've all encountered that moment before, feeling hopeless, feeling as though the darkness has won. But the Gospel of John chapter 1, and today I'm talking out of the Message translation, calls Jesus the lifeline. And John says that this lifeline blazes so intensely, so immeasurably bright, that the darkness cannot and will not extinguish it. You see, John recognizes two things. He recognizes that there is a light, and I'm going to get to that. But before John does that, he recognizes that there is darkness. And today what I want to do is want to affirm there is darkness. I wish the promise of the gospel is that we would never encounter darkness, that we would never encounter anxiety, that our hearts would never pain, that we would never feel hopeless. But unfortunately, that is not the promise of the gospel. But instead, the promise of the gospel is this, that the darker the night, the brighter the light. You see, I sat there in darkness, waiting for this light to show up, thinking that maybe this light would not be as bright as I thought it would. And when that light showed up, every fear, every ounce of doubt that I had was extinguished, because I was face to face with this natural, beautiful light. And I believe the same is true for you today. That if you wait for that light to show up, and I know that the waiting is difficult, and I know that the darkness is intense, but if you wait and look for that light, I promise you that light will transform you. It will ignite in you passion again for Jesus. It will show you hope like never before. But to do that, sometimes we have to allow the darkness to be present. As I sat there on the beach in awe of the light, another family showed up, and they went crazy as well. They were very excited to see the light. But then the lights went out, and it was one of those periods where you couldn't see the light because the waves weren't big enough to crash and cause the bioluminescence to do its thing. And during that off part, the father of this family shows up, and he begins looking for the bioluminescence, wondering where the light is, much like I was moments before. But what this father decides to do is he decides to take out his phone, turn on the flashlight, and begin looking for the bioluminescence. Now, I thought this was absolutely funny, because you cannot find light with light. You see, in order to see light, you need darkness. Now, let me make a connection. I'm not saying that God causes darkness during this time. I would say that is a dangerous theology, and that is not what we're teaching today. But instead, God recognizes that there is darkness. And oftentimes when we see the darkness and we're trying to find the light of Jesus but cannot find it, how many times do we take out our own phone light and begin to shine our own light? Looking for light with our own light, looking in the darkness with our own light. And what that looks like is we try to find our own hope. If Jesus isn't going to show up, then I'm going to find it somewhere else. I'm going to find it in Netflix. I'm going to find it in people. I'm going to find it in my own selfish gain. How many times do we try to look in the darkness with our own light? Yet if we're being honest, our own light cannot and will not ever compare to the natural beauty of God's light. And what I found is that the best way to appreciate the light of Jesus is to turn off every other light in my life, to simply focus in on the darkness, because the darkness is the perfect canvas for the light of Jesus. And today, maybe what you need to do is you need to turn out the other lights that you are using in your life today to find hope. And perhaps you even know that those lights aren't working. Turn out those lights and simply focus in on the light of Jesus. And I'm telling you, once you do that, once you focus in and encounter the light of Jesus, your life will never be the same, because you have encountered the light that is essential to your soul, the light that your life craves. And as you encounter this life, you feel as though your life has come back to life. You feel as though you have trajectory again. You have found meaning. You have found purpose. And you have found the courage to make it through another day. This light is present, but it requires you to focus in on it. It requires you to turn out the lights in your life and sit in the darkness. This process is difficult. It hurts our hearts at times. It feels scary. Anxiety is real. Depression is real. Loneliness is real. But I'm telling you, when you encounter the light of Jesus, the light that is essential to your soul, everything changes. That is the gospel. The darker the night, the brighter the light. And today I want to pray that over you guys. I want to pray peace. I want to pray God's light over your life. I love you guys. I'm so glad that I had this opportunity to share with you guys. I pray that you guys are doing well in this season, and if you're not, I want to let you know that light is coming. You're going to be okay. You're doing better than you think you are. We're all making progress. We're going to be okay. Hey guys, I love you guys so much. Thank you for this opportunity. Peace out, guys.